Welcome back, and again, as we celebrate our 19th birthday and turn into an adult in a day, let's talk to a corporator which is a century wiser, Tata Power. Praveer Sinha, the Managing Director and CEO of Tata Power, joins us now. Mr. Sinha, thank you very much for personally dropping in what's an important day for us.
Thank you very much, and happy anniversary and many more years of leadership to CNBC.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinha. Well, let's talk business first. We have held back Adrian Muat because we think he's also going to have some interesting questions for you. First up, if you can update us on what's happened after that high-powered committee gave its report. I think the GUB and the Gujarat Discom has agreed, and they are approaching the GERC with a higher PPA.
What has happened after the report, the Gujarat government went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court agreed to the amendment of the PPA, and they gave directions that within 8 weeks the PPA has to be revised, and the appropriate commission, in our case CERC, needs to look at the PPA and approve it, and also here to if there are any consumer groups, if they have any issues on that. So subsequent to that, the Gujarat government has approved it. Their cabinet has approved the HPC report and has directed the Discom, that is GUVNL, to amend the PPA and submit it to CERC. Similarly, the other states, the other 4 beneficiary states,
Haryana,
Maharashtra, Punjab and Rajasthan, are also examining it and taking it to their cabinets for approval, and thereafter they will all amend the PPA and go before CERC. So a lot of progress since then, and we expect that within this month we'll get some more clarity and a decision from CERC.
So from the start of the year, you think you can start receiving higher tariffs?
The proposal is that it will be from 15th of October. So the effective date is 15th October, and that is what is the recommendation of the HPC as well as the Gujarat government.
Adrian?
So would you describe the regulatory environment here as improving, that you're resolving issues much faster than you used to do in the past?
Yeah, this has been an evolving area. The regulatory regime in the country came post 2003 Electricity Act. And what we have seen that there are 29 state regulatory commissions, and then there is a joint regulatory commission and the federal regulatory commission. All of them over a period of time have learned from each other the best practices. They have also seen what's happening globally, and many of the things that you see in terms of market interventions have been put in place. So I think in all there has been a tremendous improvement. It can always improve, it can always be better, but we see good progress right across various states.
We see this tendency. We just had Sanjeev Goenka earlier in the morning at 8:30, and he was also saying that he doesn't want generation, he wants distribution. You also have got Odisha, right? Distribution business.
We have bid for Odisha. The decision has not been taken, but we do it in 3 cities. So we do it in the city of Delhi, Mumbai and Ajmer, and we definitely expect in the next round of privatization that takes place, there will be more opportunities in various other states. So,
so if private companies are happily getting into distribution business, should we say that there's more law and order, there will be less pilferage, generally more efficiency in electricity?
Absolutely, and we have seen it in Delhi, where we brought down the losses from 53% to something like 8%. We took Ajmer about a year and a half back. When we took it was 22%. As of 30th of September, it was 12%. So within a year and a half we have improved. So what happens is, it's not only the efficiency of the private sector, but the technology that the private sector brings in helps us to identify if there is any pilferage or stealing of electricity. And that's something which is a great incentive for private sector to come in and improve the way the power supply is being done.
Okay, since you are with us, I have to ask you about this whole consumer, backlash that has happened post Adani Power's bills skyrocketing. What's happening? I mean, are Tata Power consumers also seeing higher bills, and what could be the reason behind all of this?
We have not seen anything like that happening with our consumers. We have nearly 7 lakh consumers in Mumbai, and but there are two aspects that needs to be looked into. One is that the tariff fixation is done by the regulator, so it's an independent body who fixes the tariff, and they fix the tariff based on what is your average cost of purchase, and that of course varies from distribution companies because you would have tied up a different set of generation plans from where you buy. So as a distribution company, it is in your interest that you buy power which are at the lowest cost, and it makes a lot of sense if you can go for least cost generation plants.
Any last question?
Investors are increasingly worried about ESG angles in investing. If I invest in Tata Power, what commitments can you give to me about your environmental concerns and how you're developing your fuel mix to be more sensitive towards the environment?
Tata Group and Tata Power has always been very conscious about this aspect, and if you see our history, the first plant that we set up was a hydropower plant more than 100 years back, and as we move forward we definitely want that the mix of renewable plays a very, very important role. Right now nearly 30% of our generation is from renewable, and this is closely monitored at the board level and at the company level, and we expect that in next 5 years will become 40%, and eventually we want to have more of renewable power. Of course it is intermittent power, so we need to get solutions in terms of storage and demand side management and demand response, but definitely as far as possible, so that we can give firm power to our consumers, we would like to move towards renewable power.
Okay. We would have liked to continue with the conversation, but as you can see, we are announcing that a very big exclusive is coming our way from one of our researchers, so we will have to take leave of you, Mr. Sinha. Adrian, we want you to stay back because as a commentator, your comments on this very big news break would be important for investors. Quick break, we'll keep the suspense going, but in a few minutes, you're going to get one of the biggest news breaks lined up for you.
CNBC TV18, celebrating 19 years of business leadership.